Good morning, and good morning. Hope all is well. That's buenos dias in Spanish. Nobody is correcting me, so I'm thinking that I got that right. This is Jamie Irvin with the E2T Morning Show. Hope you all had a great night of sleep and that you are ready for another trading day. Let's hop right in before the bell rings. We got the Dow futures that is currently up along with the S&P futures. The S&P futures really is unchanged mostly, but the NAS futures is down 0.16%, but the Dow futures did bounce after a 9-day losing streak. Traders, of course, are waiting the Fed decision. Europe last reported all up. All right. So they were monitoring their economic data as well. China was mixed. Last reported, mostly down. Hong Kong and Shanghai were up, and Hong Kong was up the most. Of course, their markets trade mixed following losses on Wall Street. As I have said before, all of these countries' currencies are intermingled and interconnected in many different ways. So that is always going to continue for us. Last reported, everything was down, but currently the VIX is also down 1.64%. It is at 15.61. For earnings on today, for this morning, we had General Mills, if you like cereal, ABM, Birkenstock, Toro, Jabil, and Organigram. They all reported. In fact, I believe General Mills was on the list for not volatility, but I forgot the phrasing that they use for, I think, higher calls or something, market movers or something like that for this morning. After close today, Micron, the semiconductor, is reporting along with Lennar, Milano, Worthington, Steelcase, and Interpack Tool Group. Tomorrow morning, Accenture, which is on the more so, I would say, the software side, Darden Restaurants, Centos, FactSet, Paychex, Conagra, CarMax, Lamb Weston, and Fuel Cell Energy are also reporting tomorrow before open. After close, Nike tomorrow, FedEx, BlackBerry, Mission, and Scholastic are reporting. Friday, Carnival and Winnebago. All right, so I don't expect a whole lot of stuff in terms of what might come from earnings, but of course, we'll see. There's always some type of duking it out process that happens. Today being Wednesday, the 18th, let's take a look at what's going on today. For orange folders, we had 8:30 the building permits. We had 2 yellow folders, current account and housing starts. So that was that chunk for the morning. 10:30 is going to be an orange folder for crude oil inventories. And then at 2 o'clock, we got the run of red folders, the federal funds rate, the FOMC economic projections, the FOMC statement, and the FOMC press conference. We did some back testing on this some time ago. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the FOMC stuff. And we literally went back to some of these days to check to see if there was any movement around this time frame. And there were definitely days where you would see, and we literally went back like a year. We were on Thinkorswim's on demand, and I don't want to say painstakingly, but that's the only word I can think of, went through for each of these just to see what it would look like. And we did see like a spike that would happen. Sometimes the spike would last, until the close. The spike could be up or down, but there definitely seemed to be some type of movement. Not every single time, but enough to catch our attention. So this 2 o'clock time frame, and which we would normally call, I guess, the power hour, time frame, you definitely want to be careful with trading in this time frame, especially when it comes to entries. All right, so we wanted to be careful about that. So that's what ForexFactory is looking like so far. Let's go to investing.com. We're gonna go to the filter. Good morning, Lady T. Good morning, Janae and Nankali Rebuche. Good morning. Good morning, Tamar Jackson. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Good seeing your names this morning. So we'll go over the ones that we haven't named already. We got the Atlanta Fed GDP now, Q4. So that's happening. That's a 2-star over here. Crude oil inventories is 3 stars over here with investing.com. And then, let's see if I can, trying to blow this up so y'all can see it. All right. It's the best we can do on that. We got the distillate fuel production, EIA weekly distillate stocks, gasoline production. This is all going on at 10:30. Cushing crude oil inventories is 3 stars over here. And then the Cushing oil inventories is 3 stars as well. So it's 3 stars, 2 stars. Sorry if I call this a 3, that's 2 stars. And then heating oil stockpiles is where I left off, I believe. EIA weekly refinery utilization rates week over week. Gasoline inventories, those are all 1 stars at 10, all the way up till 10:30. And then, of course, we have whatever's going on with FOMC at 2 o'clock. But we also got the interest. Well, this is the interest rate projection, first year, Q4. Interest rate projection, second year, Q4. Third year, Q2. Right? Interest rate projection, current Q4. These are all 2 stars showing up. Interest rate projection, longer Q4, also 2 stars. And then all 3 stars for everything else that's happening. Okay, so there's, of course, plenty of potential. There's at least agreement between these two, ForexFactory calendar and investing.com, you know, that there seems to be some type of impact that could quite possibly happen on today. So that should not be a surprise to most of us, but that is the way those things seem to be shaking out. Okay. All right. Look, because I'm going to forget this. We have the SPX playbook that we've been talking about. It is now $27. The secret to making 10% profits every single day. It is a playbook. People have been getting this playbook, using the playbook, and also tweaking the playbook to whatever their trading plan is, all right, to get 10% profit. $27. We got the small account growth accelerator with the goal of turning 1K into 6K or more without staring at your screen all day. 1K is just a general number. Start where you're at. But the idea is to get the passive strategies, consistent growth, and also be a part of a supporting coach and community and options sellers membership. Now, understand this is something that is going on within the Educated to the Trader membership. And you can go to the Option Seller Zone membership under Educator to Trader. That's the number 2. Trader.com. That's where you can join the membership. So this small account growth accelerator is not something that's publicly happening. It's happening within the group. So you have access to the Telegram group to join in that. So if you want to be a part of that and start growing your account, that will be educator2trader.com is where you can go. Joining the group gives you the membership group, gives you all access pass to any of the upcoming events. You are automatically grandfathered in, if you will. So I would highly encourage you to be a part of that by joining the membership, right? We got our Mancini numbers. And good morning, Lisa Henry. Good morning, Stacy Birmingham. And good morning, Ward. We have our Mancini numbers. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with these numbers over the past couple days. The Mancini numbers seem to be showing up on Twitter 100 points higher than they should. Either that or the conversion website that we're using is doing something wrong. Either way, we are trying to get it worked out. Or shall I say figured out. Give me 1 second, guys, because my red light is blinking on my microphone. I'm going to switch mics. All right. Let's go with this. So, here's what we got. Clean follow through as a Christmas trend lows in SPX. I posted at 2:48 p.m. yesterday that 6016 had to reclaim to trigger long. Targets were 6027, 6036. They hit. Hold runners now. The plan, as long as 6024 keeps, hold. 6054, 6062 range. Resistance next. The breakout to all-time highs after that. If 6024 fails, we dip to 6009 and 59.99. All right. Let us put this on our chart. Get this taken care of. If anybody has any tickers they would like looked at, you can go ahead and drop those if you will. This is what happened yesterday. This is SPX on the 15-minute chart. This is Thinkorswim. Okay. There was a gap that happened on the day before, or the close of 2 trading days ago, I guess you could say. So this did not entirely fill the gap up. It came down here, filled it a little bit, but this really mostly traded under this gap on yesterday. So that's what we're looking at right now. Okay. So we'll just mark this way. And I know that this will flap around and what have you, but we'll put that there. Then we will put the Mancini numbers on here. Wrong. Let me move this. All right. So we're going to do 6024. So again, we need 6024 to hold. So we'll do 6024. So I still haven't figured out which set of numbers is kind of weird, but we'll put it that way. 6054 and 6062. So we'll do 6062 here. 6054. Okay. And if it dips, we actually have 6009. And 59.99. Okay. That's looking like, again, well, this right here will be moving. This is marking the 15-minute candle. So we got some time to be looking at that, but this up here, we can remove. So this is just simply a chart that I use to put the Mancini numbers on there. Okay. So we need to hold 6024. And as long as it holds this, these are in play, and it can break up higher and go up to all-time highs. I'm just reading what directly from the Mancini list. Okay, if it breaks this down, it can dip to these numbers. Right? So that's just something to watch for us. So let's take a look at SPY, and SPY will look similar to SPX because they are both based on the S&P 500. We'll look at this on the daily. Right? We marked this a while back as a zone, as a buyer zone right here, and really it's still in that zone. Right? This is leg in, two in the base, leg out. It came down. It did come down in here a little bit, but there's obviously buyers sitting in this zone. You can see that this is a strong reaction from buyers. This is a strong reaction from buyers and sellers right there. I believe we also, when we looked at this before, we were saying how this looks like it could be shaping up to be a reversal pattern because this was a run up from south to north, and it seems to be bouncing in this channel. If we consider these, this seller zone in here, like a top, you know, this could be a double top, or on this way, this could be a double top on this way to a triple top. Who knows? There's probably a couple different patterns that this could probably fit. But that's the first one that caught my attention. The second one that caught my attention was the fact that this is a trend line. It's a trend line, right? So whatever this pattern would be, and if this was the neckline, I don't even know if that is a pattern. I don't even know if that is a pattern. I'm just marking what it looks like. Let's see. There's something that matches that. Yeah, I guess it would be the bullish wedge. That's what that looks like to me. Y'all agree with that? This looks like a bullish wedge. We consider this right here the neckline. These highs are getting lower, and this will be the flagpole. So that could be a bullish wedge, meaning, and with Mancini saying that could push up. So that's something to watch as well. All right, keep an eye out for. So that's on SPY. Actually, let's do it this way. So really doesn't make sense for us to move our zones. If we wanted to move our zones, though, and just to get something closer to price, we could go right here. There's actually a couple places you can do it. We also had discussed that these were zones on top of zones. So even if we did this, leg in, base, leg out right here, these buyer zones and seller zones are still together. And even if we use this most recent zone and said leg in, base, and leg out right here for yesterday's candle, these zones are still together. So I'm okay with leaving this up here as a seller zone. I'm fine with that. Because these zones are still directly on top of each other regardless. So this looks like it's trying to push down into this zone. Obviously, it's only 10 minutes into the session. I would not be getting in this early, but I do always check to see what the premiums are looking like. So in this case, since prices already looks like it's pushing down, this is a one spread. So 607, 608 minus 607. It's 1 times 100. One contract is 100 shares. So that's $100 collateral. That'll be 18 cents or $18 collected on $100 collateral. Obviously, again, We got FOMC happening, so I don't even know. To me, today trading today would be, because I would classify it as being adventurous. This would be stepping in front of a moving train, because on this side where the puts are, that means price will be coming closer to the strike, which so far in today, this is showing bearish anyway. But for those of you who like to go by the out the money, if you were doing a put credit spread at 600, that would be 17 cents. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be messing around with this until after FOMC. You know what I'm saying? But that's me. Let's see what Rome them gonna say before we get to messing around. I said Jerome in the house. I'd rather wait to see what he gonna do, or at least he gonna say. But the potential for Iron Condor, I would say, is definitely there. If it wasn't an FOMC day lingering, I would be more comfortable, looking at that for Iron Condor, because what the situation is with the FOMC. It's almost like if everybody who's saying they hope that there's a cut gets a cut, this might jump up. But if they don't get the cut that they want, it might drop. You know what I'm saying? It's like it could be either one of them situations that end up getting reflected. So, and it's not even just those two situations. It could be a myriad of other things that are happening, but it's unpredictable. Kind of like when Nvidia will smash earnings, but if they're forward, which is good, but if their forward guidance isn't what people want, that could drop the price after earnings. It could be anything. So we don't want to get our hopes up for nothing. So what we have here for SMH, that does not stand for shaking my head. That is VanEck Semiconductor ETF. They're going to have some of the same stocks as SOXL. There's some differences in the weighting of the prices that are in there, but SOXL is going to have SOXL, SMH, and there's a bunch of them, but those two are the ones that I see the most. I'm going to keep this buyer zone down here, and I'm just going to add one. It's a little bit closer than I like. And it will be that one. We'll just... Now, just so you know, so we'll make this darker. I'm not saying that this is I'm not saying that this will directly affect SOXL or SMH. I'm not saying it will directly affect them, but Taiwan Semiconductor just finished. Well, there's news about their new. I don't even know if you want a facility. It's called a fabrication fab facility. That's, I believe, in Phoenix. Now, y'all know, because of COVID, a lot of the semiconductors, what they learned about COVID or during COVID was there was a bottleneck happening with semiconductors, because when China shut down, the whole world shut down. That's just a fact. So what ended up happening was a bottleneck was very evident when it came to China. So that's where the CHIPS Act information, you started hearing about that. At the end of the day, America wants to have more of the chips being produced here. Well, with Taiwan Semiconductor opening this facility, now higher end chips, these new chips that come out can be, produced in the United States. Apple is already lined up as Taiwan Semiconductor's company. So they're already committed to being one of their biggest customers. For those of us who trade, who just so I know what I'm talking about. This is Taiwan Semiconductor, TSM. A lot of people are not aware of them, and then some people are just now hearing about them. I see two categories of people, but basically they are responsible for, I guess you could say, manufacturing 80% of the world's semiconductors, something like that. So the United States now has a more updated way of getting chips out, and more. That's what caused Intel to drop the ball. That's why Intel started falling off with their market share, because it wasn't printing the more updated chips. AMD got the market share because they had those chips. COVID happened in the United States. It's like, yo, we need to make sure we can avoid any future bottlenecks. And so now Taiwan Semiconductor, who had facilities already in the United States, now they have a new facility. So that, don't be surprised if you start seeing this price go up even higher. That's just my opinion, because once Apple is behind something, but everybody is outsourcing to Taiwan Semiconductor. So you may see them, if you look up SOXL and who's holding it, you'll see Taiwan Semiconductor. SMH, you'll see Taiwan Semiconductor. Okay, they're in both of those. All right. Closer to price. Technically, I don't think I just geeked out on y'all, because that was information that you could possibly use. So, technically, that wasn't a geek out session. This is a buy. Consider this a buyer zone right here. Normally, I don't mark a zone until there's at least a 3-candle formation. So that's why I have these dashed lines here. That's what they represent, right? Because you never know which way this final candle is going to go, especially with FOMC. What was being marked here before, what was sitting here before, this was a chair formation. So this really, sitting something like this. So you could say I was looking at the chair that was here. Somebody else might have been looking at this one right here for a seller zone. But either way, even if you wanted to you could look at this formation as a buyer formation if you want to, leg in, base, leg out. Or you can look at this as a leg in, base, and this is either waiting to come out or go up, right? There's a couple different ways you can look at that. But that's why I would rather wait for this last candle to finish, right? But for right now, at the very least, if we just go by what we have down here, which is assured, and this up here, we can take a look at the options chain and see what it is saying, right? At least do that. And in this case, we definitely can start with a put credit spread. Expiring. Okay. I'll be somewhere around here. This is a 2.5 spread, so that's $250 collateral. I wouldn't mind collecting 28 cents on that. So I'm on the put side. Price is pushing up right now, moving away from it. So the collateral, the premium that I get may or may not be all that great. Put that in quotations, but I definitely want to get at least 10%, collect at least 10%, which is what I'm doing right here. So I'm just going to put this in. Well, this is YouTube. a.m. At the time. This is the first 15. All right, now I'm gonna wait. I have to wait until the first half an hour before I put something in. So I'll still wait, but I'm in my sim, doing this in my sim. So I like this this setup, but for the person who posted it, that's what I'll be looking for if I was getting in here. It'd be about 245. So that puts me right here. Right. I saw 247.5 as well, which still puts me in here. If you if I was doing a put credit spread, 247.5 would put me a little bit closer. But again, I do think this is going to end up being a buyer zone, which I would still be below this this down here, right? So I'll be looking at that. And remember, if you're going to hold it, you're going to be holding through FOMC for this week. So that's another thing too. Okay, just keep that in mind. All right. So we did SMH, we did SPY, Bank AC. It's also requested. Ooh, this is a head and shoulders formation. If this was left shoulder, head, right shoulder, it was a run up, bounced, went up, came down, did not go all the way back up past the head, stopped about where the other one was, kept coming back down. So this is a head and shoulders called a reversal pattern. That's what I'm looking at right there. That's what Bank of America had. All right, so we're going to pull this over. This is a buyer's gap. And once it gapped up here, it is just now coming back down to the zone. This is a weekly. This blue line is a weekly price point. So I expect there to be a bounce here of some sort. Even if it's not a bounce, I expect some type of reaction because that is a very strong price. So let me put that in there. Very strong price. So what's sitting in there. Add these prices for you. I usually don't have the prices on mine because I spend more time in the options chain anyway. So we have a buyer zone down here, leg in, 2 in the base, leg out. I don't see anything over here that will refute that. Then I don't love this leg in, 2 in the base, leg out. I don't love this one, but there's obviously something happening right here. But a stronger formation for me would be up here. So you can actually do this one. Leg in, base, leg out. I would be okay with that, but I would mark this to show that something is happening. And that's why I use gray on my charts to mark that something's going down. I might not know what it is, might not be able to explain it, but either this is a formation or something. I'm noticing it stopped here. It stopped here. This price point in here is getting touched multiple times. So something like that would have my attention. Boom, 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 boom. So I'll just mark those in there. I'll just use this as a seller zone and use this as a buyer zone. Bank of America probably does not have a very high premium right now because their average range is probably low. I'll be surprised if it's $1. Let's see. 73 cents. And they have earnings coming up January 16th. So if you're trading Bank of America, be aware of that. I would imagine the premiums for this Friday's expiration may not be that great. You might have to go out an extra week. The way this looks is overall bearish, even though it looks like it's trying to push up right now. You have a gap in here, a buyer's gap. So when the buyers pushed up, they left all of this, buyers sitting in here regardless. I'll be looking to do a put credit spread, of course. Again, we got FOMC happening today too. So, and this is a 50-cent spread. 44 minus 43.5 is 50 cents. So your premiums may not be that high. So that's why I was saying two things you could do. You could do it as a 50-cent spread, or you can widen the spread. Again, not investment advice, but this is what you can do or what I do to collect more premiums. I can go out another week and I'll be okay with that's 6 cents. So I usually do one spread for $100. I'm comfortable with that. So this will be $100 collateral, 11 cents or $11 collected. So I'll be getting 10%, at least 10% return on collateral. I'll be okay with that in Bank of America case. I'll just go out extra week. So that's the way that would work. Possible iron condor opportunity as well. Sitting there. So if you did, let's see if I was like that, would be 8 cents. So what is that? Almost, is that $20 on 100, 20% return on collateral? If I did iron condor, I'll be cool with that. I like iron condors because I like reusing my collateral as often as possible. If I was trying to master anything with trading, it would be that. Reusing collateral as often as possible. But that is Bank of America. That's what I see with Bank of America. All right. Gonna look at RUT on the 15-minute. This is what happened yesterday. They fought for that first 15 minutes. Buyers and sellers duked it out, and the sellers took off with it. There was a gap here that this did start filling up from back here. So I haven't figured out why they don't give you the square on all sides. Like there should be a square up here in this top corner when you click on it. Anyway, I'm telling you, they need to be having me doing the user testing on this stuff. Anyway, so this was a gap up here. Boom. This first 15 minutes has yielded nada. when it comes to the breakout. It's not broken out yet. Okay, so this gap up went from here to here. It's going to be trying to probably push through here today. Depending on how FOMC goes, it may actually push through here. So that's another thing that may be happening. It'll be something to watch. Okay, even on Russell. Thank you, Tamar. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. This is somebody that got your back right here. Telling you. I got to take background. I'm trying to tell him tomorrow. I let him know. I need to get y'all act together, fam. Got traders out here trying to make it happen, Chief. You trying to improve your product? You trying to improve your product? I mean, what we doing here? Be advised, everybody, that there's also a gap above current price on Russell. And I got to check the SPX to see if there's one up there as well, because I did not look at that one. Right? But we got some stuff going on. I'm not going to even ask who's going to go ahead and try to brave FOMC trading today. I won't even ask. I won't even say by show of hands. Everybody here probably going to go up. SPX has broken out of its 15-minute range. Okay. And so be aware that we got at 60.62, there's resistance. And then, of course, there's some more resistance as it continues to head up. 60.85 I see, as well as here. And I'm going to do this one a little bit different because this is not a Mancini number. But this is where I see prices turn around, right? So it is resistance. I'm going to put that around right there. So this could, a couple of these could be some stopping points. But obviously where this gap happened, there seems to be some activity around this number as well. So I'll duplicate that. So you got a couple spots where this keeps going up. You can see some things, some stops along the way. But this is SPX, so, you know, anything can happen. Okay. Looks like we are all good with the tickers for today. Okay. Okay, no TNAs on las preguntas. All right. Let's switch on over here. Please. So currently the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 0.29%. The S&P 500 is up 0.08%, and NASDAQ is up 0.05%. Russell 2K is up 0.59%. The VIX is down to 15.29, which is 3.65%. All right. Now remember, no matter what you do, that 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, that's when the feds are stepping in. Take that for what it's worth. But 2 o'clock is what I'm keeping my eye on. So if you ain't in something that you can get out of, I'd advise you to trade with your head on a swivel, fam. Okay. So both of these sites are in agreement on that in terms of something that could impact the economy will be getting played out, right? Our E2T daily declaration. By faith, I am a successful trader. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. Money likes me because money is comfortable around me. It is drawn to me. E2T daily prayer. Lord, give us wisdom and knowledge for our trades today. Help us to make smart and lucrative decisions for our portfolios. Okie dokie, everybody. Remember, we're here to do two things today. Stay green, get this money. And remember, not trading today is also a strategy. Sitting on the sidelines is also a strategy. If you think it's going to be too much for you, don't risk any coins unnecessarily, okay? All right. So I am Jamie Irvin with the E2T Morning Show. Please click like, subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Don't forget, you can always join the membership at Educated2Trader, the number 2, trader.com. We love to have you. We see you in the Telegram group. For those in the Telegram group, we have already posted the Mancini numbers, so you can check those out. All right. Yeah, tomorrow. That is a strategy. All right, y'all. You all have a good one, and we will see you all on the stream on Friday. Appreciate having you join us this morning.